guys, I'm Alex and this is my channel Life with Fibro. Before I get into this video today, before I get in this video today, I wanted to say make sure you like this video and you click subscribe and turn on the post notifications so that you never miss a video. Before I get started, below will be my Instagram and an email, so that if fibromyalgia is something that you guys are suffering with, you can reach out to me on either or if you need someone to talk to, because you guys aren't alone. So today's video is going to be my fibromyalgia story. I think this would start about 3 years ago. 3 years ago is when I started getting symptoms, but they were so random and off and on that we didn't think anything of it. So about 3 years ago, my wife and I noticed that I started getting random hives everywhere. It'd be all down my arm, on the side, my sides. I get them really bad on my ankles and stuff. If I can figure out how to put some pictures in, I'll have them like right here. I'll just put them up on the screen so you guys can see. We started noticing that it was happening when I was getting really anxious. So we thought that it was because of my anxiety, because I was suffering with really bad anxiety. I still am, but that was before I got it treated. So we thought that maybe the hives were just from my anxiety and from me being over anxious. And then we also started noticing that probably once a month, once every other week, I started having a lot of issues with my left hip. I'd just be getting out of the car or just bend down to grab something, and then all of a sudden my left hip would not move any further, and I wouldn't be able to bend sideways. I wouldn't be able to bend down. It was really hard for me to sit or get up from something just because my hip couldn't do anything. And we didn't know exactly what was going on with that, but it was so random that we still didn't think anything of it. It probably happened, like I said, once, twice a month, and it'd last a few days and then it'd be fine. And about a year ago, I got into a car accident with my cousin, and with that accident I got pain in that hip again. So then I went to the doctor to get checked and everything after the accident, and it was just muscle spasm. So then that kind of just clarified everything. So then that went on for about 2 years, the hives and just random hip issues. I've had back spasms my whole entire life. I did a lot of sports growing up, and I just had a really bad back growing up, so I constantly got back spasms. So me getting back spasms wasn't something anything new to me. If you see me looking down, it's because my dogs are play fighting with each other right now. Hey, calm. So I'm just keeping an eye on them, and if you hear them like that, that's them. Bye-bye, Zoe. Calm. Okay, calm down. So then about a year ago is when things started getting progressively worse. I was getting hives more and more often, and they were coming more frequently. I was getting them, I'd just be sitting at work, I would be just anywhere, they were just randomly coming on. I mean, it went from me getting them once every other week to me getting them 4 times a week. So that started getting really worrisome, and we started realizing that I was having issues with my hands. My hands would randomly get really itchy and red and swell up, and especially if I grabbed something like out of the freezer or trying to like open a bottle or something, it would just destroy my hands. I wouldn't be able to bend my fingers. They were just really red and irritated. So that's when we started getting a little worried. I started getting more worried with that, just because we honestly had no idea what that meant. And then we started noticing when I would go swimming. We'd go swimming with friends here at the apartment, and I'd be swimming for a few minutes. All of a sudden I get really itchy. I scratch somewhere, and then I look and there's a big hive there. And then when I'd get out of the pool, as soon as I was out, I'd have a bunch of hives just all over me, and my body be really sore just by the time I walked back to the apartment. And then one day when we realized that it was time for us to go talk to the doctor and figure out what was going on, I had a really bad flare-up. I had drank some on a Friday night with some friends and my wife, and then that Saturday my sister came to town because she's from out of town, and we went swimming Saturday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, I think she left Saturday afternoon, or it might have been Sunday afternoon, I sat down on the couch around like 1 o'clock, and within like 15 minutes, all of a sudden I couldn't physically move. Like my body was just in so much pain and so weak that I just could not move. I couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't do anything. So I had to ask my wife to help pull me off the couch so I could go to the bathroom because I couldn't physically move. I was just in so much head to toe pain that I could not move at all. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm just really low on electrolytes or something because we've done a lot this weekend. So I went to grab a Powerade from the kitchen and couldn't open the Powerade because my hands were so weak, and I've never had issues not being able to open something before. Normally I'm the one opening a jar or bottle or something for someone, so that really got us concerned. So my wife had to open it for me, and I still couldn't move. That Monday I had to call out at work because I still could not move. It took me 15 minutes to get from off the bed into our bathroom, and the bathroom is literally just right across the hall from the bedroom we sleep in. So that was when we were like, okay, we really need to go talk to a doctor and find out what's going on. Zoe quit. And so we went and I scheduled an appointment with my general physician, told him what was going on. His first thing, just like what my first thought was rheumatoid arthritis, just because we realized that the issues with my hands, I'd have a flare-up with my hands, but I'd have a flare-up with my hands, and then when that flare-up would start is when it would progress into my whole entire body at that point. So we were like, okay, so his first thought was rheumatoid. That was my first thought also. He was like, I'm gonna have you meet with a rheumatologist so that they can do a bunch of tests, find out what's going on. So he sent me a referral. The rheumatologist called to schedule an appointment. It was 6 weeks from the day that I met with my general physician, which was the longest 6 weeks of my life and the most miserable 6 weeks I've ever been in my life. So schedule that appointment. Those 6 weeks in between those two appointments was just, it was debilitating. Things were progressively getting worse. I was having more days that I couldn't move. I was getting hives more and more often. I was having more body pain just throughout, like just every day. Something in my body was hurting. And if you don't know what fibromyalgia is where there's a confused central nervous system. So it's sending pain signals to something it shouldn't be sending pain signals to, and it's overly sending them. So then I met with my general physician again before the 6 weeks to meet with my rheumatologist because we were discussing just a few other medications that I'm on. And I told him that it was getting worse and that there was more days that I couldn't get up. And he was like, okay, that's something. He was like, okay, it's more than just rheumatoid arthritis. He was like, that's still a possibility, but I do think it is more than that. He was like, I'm leaning more towards fibromyalgia or something like that now. So I was like, okay. So he was like, I'm still gonna have you meet with a rheumatologist, but I am leaning more towards fibromyalgia, or I think it was like polymyalgia or something like that. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. I'll put it below here if I can. It's something that's like fibro, but it's not completely fibro. So come that appointment, I had no idea what fibromyalgia was. It wasn't something that's very talked about very often, so I didn't know at all what fibro was. So then I remember after that appointment, I still had like 3 weeks left or something to my rheumatologist appointment, and on the way home, my wife, my mom, and I were sitting in the car, and I was researching fibromyalgia and what it is and the symptoms of it and everything. And I was reading out loud to them, and we realized that pretty much every symptom that that is known of fibro's not very known, so there's a lot of symptoms that still are being found out about, still being learned. But the ones that I brought up were mood swings, anxiety, depression, full body random pain. There's 18 tender points in your body that if they're touched or put pressure on them, it shoots out pain. There was like bladder problems, IBS, a few other things, and it was all stuff that I was dealing with. So then my mom, my wife, and I were like, okay, that makes a lot more sense than rheumatoid arthritis because it's not just in my hands anymore. So then we're like concerned that maybe, okay, maybe I have rheumatoid and I have fibro. So rheumatologist appointment came and went through my consultation and everything with them, and he felt my hands and everything, and I was like, okay, you know, it's not rheumatoid. So then he was like, we need to figure out what it is. So I told him everything that was going on, and he was like, I'm 99% sure that it is fibro, but I want you to meet with an allergist because, like I said, I was getting hives constantly with no cause. We tried switching laundry detergents. I didn't have any food allergies. So he was like, that's not, he's like, as far as I know, that's not a symptom of fibro. So he's like, I want you to meet with an allergist to make sure that you don't have cold urticaria, which is an allergy to the cold that he was concerned about because issues I was having with my hands when I would grab things from the freezer and stuff. So he was like, I want you to meet with an allergist before I officially diagnose the fibro. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So scheduled my allergist appointment. I had it the next week. I got all their allergy testing done. Don't have no allergies, thankfully. Don't have cold urticaria, which is a huge concern of ours because I live in the Midwest. It gets really, really cold here. It's always cold here, especially during winter. So we're really concerned on what to do and stuff if it was an allergy to the cold and how to handle it. So thankfully it wasn't. So then I reached out to my rheumatologist and I was like, hey, it's not an allergy. I do have a vitamin D deficiency. Well, I shouldn't say deficiency, it was just low levels. It wasn't low enough to be a deficiency, so my allergist has me taking vitamin D, and then he's going to retest my levels in a few months. And I was like, can we start officially diagnose fibro now and officially start treatment? Now, the response I got from my rheumatologist wasn't the response that I was hoping for, but sadly it is what a lot of fibro patients deal with. He was like, so for some reason he was like fighting on officially diagnosing it now because it is a diagnosis of exclusion, meaning if they can't find anything else wrong, they diagnose fibro, which is the reason that there is such a stigma between fibro right now, and a lot of doctors don't believe in it. So, and they were like, there's no effective treatment. And being told that there's no effective treatment kind of really frustrated with me because I knew there was, because I have friends and coworkers and stuff who have fibro and I know the treatments that they are on. So for a doctor to tell me that there was no effective treatment kind of really put me in this bad place. They advised me to exercise, get good sleep, and take 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol 3 times a day. So one thing I want you to know about fibro is that you do have to be your own advocate for treatment for anything when it comes to doctors. Like I said, a lot don't believe in it. So if you find a new study or anything like that, you need to be your own advocate for it. So that's what I had to do. I emailed them back. I was like, look, I know that it can be a diagnosis of exclusion. My vitamin D levels do not affect my diagnosis of fibro. I was like, I don't understand why you guys aren't diagnosing it. I was like, taking that much Tylenol is just going to do more effect to my body than it is good, and I've already told you guys it's not working. And I sent them this huge long email and finally got the response, and they were like, well, you have to meet with your GP, which is your general physician, and they have to officially diagnose it and figure out treatment. So that is where I'm at right now. I do have, today is Saturday that I'm filming this and uploading this, and Monday, so 2 days from now, is my meeting with my general physician. So I will let you guys know how that goes. I have already given them a heads up that I don't want to try the medications first that there is for fibro. I want to go more of the natural route and do supplements and vitamins. Been doing a lot of research and I know that that gets better results. There is a lot of really bad side effects with the medications. The medications that I know of is Lyrica and Cymbalta. Lyrica, you can gain a lot of weight really fast along with some other side effects, and Cymbalta can be really, really addictive. So if I don't need to put my body through more rough side effects like that, then I don't want to. If I can just get it somewhat relieved with vitamins and supplements. So I have given them a heads up with that. I will let you guys know. If you don't know what fibro feels like, fibromyalgia on a good day, just a normal day where there's not a bad flare, your body feels like you have the achy flu and have been run over by a truck. Pretty much that's just how your whole body feels, or at least some piece of your body feels on really bad days. A lot of people can't move, can't do anything because the pain is so bad. So that is what fibromyalgia feels like. I will probably do a separate video one of these weeks and explain more of what fibromyalgia is and the pain that comes with fibromyalgia. Hello. So that is my fibromyalgia story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is going to be a channel regarding my life now with fibro, the things I have to change in my life for it, the things that I try to help with the pain, and just kind of how it affects my life. Fibro is something that's not talked about very often. It's not very common. A lot of doctors don't believe in it, so we, us patients, tend to know more than a lot of doctors just through research and everything. So if it is something you guys are suffering with, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm here. So yeah, I'll probably be uploading once, maybe twice a week for now, just till I get more of a routine going and get myself under control, my pain under control better. So yeah, I hope you have a great day and I hope you enjoy the video.